I got a notification that I had a package, and you'll have to excuse me. I just got off work. My hands are dirty, and I really want to see what's in here because I truly have no idea what is in here. So this is just a on-the-fly, quick little... What is it? What? What? I had no idea. What the heck? They did not tell me this shit.
What's going on, YouTube? This is What Would Josh Do, and this is an exciting video. So shout out to these guys. They actually reached out to me and sent me this product for free in exchange for this video. I'm not being paid by them. I want to fully disclose that I did not pay for this product, and nobody is reviewing anything before I post it. With that out of the way, this is super exciting because I love stuff like this. And if you look at all my videos, most of them have been about this kind of stuff. So let's get into this. This is the SHARGEEK 170 24,000 power bank, 170 watts max, USB-C 1, USB-C 2, USB-A. Nothing here. On this side, we've got a little bit of information. We've got a picture. We have some specifications as far as what the USB-C outputs can do. Up to 28 volts, 5 amps for 140 watts maximum. So it looks like both USB-C ports can do an equal output. One's not more powerful than the other, basically. And if you use two USB-C ports, you're doing 100 watts on the first one, 65 watts on the second one. If you're using two USB-C ports, and one of them's using 140 watts, such as a MacBook Pro 16-inch, the other one's going to get 30 watts. And if you're using all three ports, you're going to get 65 watts on USB-C 1, 65 watts on USB-C 2, and 18 watts on USB-A. That's actually very fair. And a lot of devices I have, the moment you plug in a USB-A device, you lose a lot of your USB-C. So 65 watts is very fair. And apparently they have a Discord that you can join. Have some more information here. It is water resistant. All right, let's get to the freaking unboxing. So we'll start right here. Oh my gosh. And the cool thing about this is it's a unique design. Like the shape of it. It's super cool. Ooh, it's got little pull tabs. So we can pull those. Oh, and look at that. It leaves behind a thing. So there's no denying that it was opened. Love it or hate it. It's there. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, that's pretty cool. It looks just like the other one I have. And I'll show it to you. So let's look at the goodies box here. Let's see what all we get. So we get a charge cable. It's USB-C. Oh, it's like a 3-footer. I think it's about 3 feet. You get a little carrying cloth to, and it is branded. And then you get an instruction booklet. There's some more information, such as the fact that this is an 86.4 watt-hour battery. And there's a bunch of different screens that it can show you. And then the modes of operation, such as a short press or a long press or double click. All right, let's pull it out. This is pretty cool. This is neat. Oh, it's big. That's cool. All right, let's take a look at this thing. So it looks awesome with the clear design where you can see those purple batteries. Looks like there's 2, 4, 6 of them in there. It's got a neat design there. On the bottom, we have some information that I can't read off my camera screen. Hopefully, you'll be able to see it after I'm done editing and everything. On this side, we have like a button here. We have USB-C and a USB-A. In here, it says that is an output and an input, and this is an output and an input. So it doesn't matter which one you use. They're both equal, which is good and bad. It is nice to have one that's just an output, because sometimes you want to use this power bank to charge a larger power bank, such as one that has a built-in inverter to keep your refrigerator going. Because I found myself in that situation where I was using all of my power banks to feed into a much larger power bank that had an AC inverter inside it, and all of these little guys were keeping it topped off. But since that's an in and an out, it's gonna try to take the power from the big guy and put it into this guy. It is nice to have one that is output only. Now it does look very similar to this thing that I got a while back, this guy has the USB-Cs and USB-A and even a DC, which is pretty cool. And see right here, the USB-C is output only on this one, and that's the input. It actually has more cells. It has 8 of them in it. Huh. I wonder if they're small. Oh, they are smaller cells in size. Okay. Anyways, this is my PowerZ tester. I will have a link to it in the description. I basically want to see about this cable. And see what it has. So, boom, there you go. It's a 50 volt, 5 amp, 240 watt. It does have a vendor. Yeah, so it comes with a very capable cable. And wow, that English is weird. Capable cable. That's kind of funny to say. All right, so I have a 140 watt charger. I'm going to use the cable that it came with. I'm going to connect my tester. And I'm going to plug it in, and we're going to see what happens. All right, so right away we can see that it's almost 28 volts, almost 5 amps. We're getting 130 watts. So we are getting a very fast charge into this thing, which is quite nice. It says the battery percentage is 67%, and there is the thing that says charging time, and it says 15 minutes, and the output's 0 watts. So we get a lot of data, and let's see what else. All right, so I double pressed it and I went into this low current mode. I double pressed it and I exited it. All right, so that's actually quite simple. Like, it's just one screen. Okay, so we actually don't get a whole lot of data as far as like amps and volts and everything. But the most important thing, I guess, to most of us is going to be this watt number. And then obviously that we're at 71% battery and it's going to take about 14 minutes at this current rate to charge this battery up. All right, so we're going to connect up this other one here. We got to make sure we do it to that in and out port. And yeah, I mean, this thing can only charge at 100 watts maximum, and this thing can charge at 140 watts maximum. This one does give you quite a bit of information, such as the watts going in, the volts and the amps, and also the temperature of the cells. And if you long press this button, you have a lot of things in here, such as you can change how much power goes to the DC port, each of the individual cells, their voltages, whether you want temperature in Celsius or Fahrenheit, a timer for whatever reason, I'm not quite sure, how long the display stays on, and to power off the whole unit itself, or to exit this screen, and then you hold it to select. So it's more of a nerdy screen, when this is more of a basic everything that you need and nothing that you don't screen. I also want to point out the fact that it's currently at 80% and it's still charging at a very high rate. I want to go ahead and plug in my laptop here. It can draw up to 100 watts, and I want to see what happens with this thing. I also want to point out the fact that the wattage, the computer's indicating they can charge it up to 65 watts. So we're inputting 140, but we're only able to output 65. All right, so we'll unplug the charger. And we'll see what happens. All right, so there you go. Now we're drawing 95 watts from the laptop here. And the laptop is indicating that it can pull 100 watts maximum from this current charger. And the battery will last 39 minutes at this current rate with this percentage battery. All right, now what I'm going to do is run this tester and see what all this thing can do as far as charging. So there you friggin' go. PD3.1. 140 watts, PPS, quick charge 5. Yep, 28 volts. We got the 5 amps. We got the PPS at 5 amps. So that's your super fast charging 2.0 at 45 watts for Samsung. All right, now I want to try something I've never tried before on my channel. I've got 2 testers at the same time, both plugged in. I'm going to hit be ready on both of them and then auto detection. And I'm going to see what happens. This is going to be very interesting because now we are simulating that we have 2 things plugged in at the same time. All right, so on the left here, we've got PPS still, which is cool, but it's at 3.25 amps now. We got up to 65 watts. On the right, we've got PD3, we've got PPS at 5 amps and 20 volts at 5 amps. All right, so instead of running auto, let's just do PD on both of them. PD at the same time. Okay, so once again, we're getting 100 watts off the right one. which this is this port right here. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're basically able to do 165 watts together. All right, we're charging this thing at a very high speed. Let's introduce the Steam Deck to the equation. And very nice. We're actually charging the Steam Deck at its full speed while we're charging the power bank at its full speed. And in 11 minutes, we're going to have a full battery in this thing. And the cool thing about its unique design is the fact that you can literally like set stuff on it. You can use it as a stand for the laptop. Look at that. So that's pretty cool. You can charge our laptop and have airflow underneath it. That is super freaking convenient, actually. Now, one of the things I find odd is there's no rubber at all. So it's just going to slide around. So this thing's pretty freaking cool. So it seems like the output is about 65 watts maximum if you're inputting it at its highest speed. Now, I'm curious. I want to test, what if we were to change the ports around? So now we're going to have the laptop on the top or the bottom port here. So it's getting 65 watts. Okay, so that's fine. That's what we saw earlier. So let's switch it to this port and just make sure that everything is even. Okay, so it does not appear that everything is even. So with this current setup, now we're pushing even more power. And now the laptop shows it's connected to a 100 watt output. What? Okay, this changes a lot of things right here. And why is this? Why is this way? I thought both ports were exactly even. It doesn't appear to be that way. We have USB-C 1 going to the laptop, and we have USB-C 2 going to the charging adapter, the wall plug, the AC port. It's charging via that plug right here. But if we simply just relocate these plugs, yeah, now the laptop shows that 65 watts maximum. So I'm very thankful that I tested this, because I was thinking, 65 watts max while you're charging at 130, that's good, but that's not, like the market has more powerful things out there. In this realm of high-speed power banks, there's ones out there that are capable of more. When you simply just change the ports around, now this becomes equal to all of the other things in the market. And that's actually crazy. That's actually insane to me that I can charge this power bank at 140 watts and draw 100 watts from it at the same time. That actually, I can't even, that's crazy. That means the ROG Ally X will be able to withdraw 100 watts from this thing while you're putting 131 into it. That actually blows my mind. I do have an ROG Ally X on pre-order, so when that comes, I will be testing it with this thing and all of my recent 100 watts or more power banks that I currently have in my possession, which is growing, including this one right here. So if there's a lesson that can be learned today, you'll want to use this port for your input and this port for your output. And then I'm going to test that USB-A port and see what all it can do. All right, there's the test results. That's everything that the USB-A port can do according to this thing. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. I'll have a link to this power bank in the description below. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I read every single one of them, and I try to reply to most of them. If you enjoyed the video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. This is What Would Josh Do? And I'm out.